Welcome back to Likros. We're working on Parshas Terumah. Parshas Terumah, the Torah starts and says, "Vayichuli Terumah." It's talking about collecting money and items for the building of the Mishkan, tabernacle, the temple in the wilderness. But it uses the word Terumah, which normally means Terumah is the gift that you give to the Kohanim from your produce that grows every year. Now, the Din Torah is a person, even if he has a tremendous amount of produce, can give one wheat kernel sufficient to satisfy the Torah requirement of Truma. This has also a rabbinic requirement in it. Now, normally the rabbinic requirement is fixed, one amount. Here, it splits into three. There's three choices how to satisfy the rabbinic requirement of giving Truma. Beinani, an average person, gives 2%, 1 out of 50. And there's something called Ayin Yofa and Ayin Ra. Ayin Yofa is a person who wants to give a little bit more to the Kohen. He's feeling good, so he gives 1/40th, 2.5%, a little bit more. And there's a person, Ayin Ra, who's allowed to do this. He satisfies his rabbinic requirement, even though he gives 1/60th, which is called Ayin Ra. So there's three choices how much you want to give. You have to give one of these three numbers. You get to pick. Is it 1/60th, 1/50th, or 1/40th? That's the halacha going in. Now the Baal HaTurim finds a remez here to all three of these shirim derabanan. These shirim derabanan, these numbers are rabbinic enactments, so it's not expressed in the Torah at all, but there's hints to it. What's the hint? It says Vayichu li truma. Now li is the letters are lamed yud. That's a gematria of 40. So that we said 1 out of 40 is the Ayin Yafa. And the pasuk continues, Me'es kol. The Torah says, from everybody who's giving, kol nadivileg, whoever's giving the truma in the parsha. So the kol, if you add together two letters, kaf and lamed, it's 50. And that's we said the average person gives 2%, 1 out of 50. And if you look at the word me'es kol, and you look at the Rashi Tevis of the two words together, the first letters, it's a mem and a kaf is still 20, and a mem is 40, so 40 and 20 together is 60, which is the Ayin Ra, 1 out of 60. So that's all Baal HaTurim. Now, the Yismach Moshe would like to add on this idea. So, v'yichu li truma. So Rashi says, what does it mean li? Why does the Kodesh Baruch say, give to me the truma? And Rashi adds, it's li lishmi, for the purpose of Hashem. So li is the high level. That's 40. That's Ayin Yofa. And then kol ish, every person, we're continuing on the same verse. So that was the word kol. That's the average person. So kol is 50. That's what's kol ish. And then the pasuk says, me'es kol, and we're taking the first letters, the mem and the kaf, to get 1 out of 60, which is Ayin Ra, and this is now, me'es means from them, means a mute. So we've already taken out the people who are Ayin Yafa, and we have the majority perhaps, who's the Beinani, the average person at 2%. Now we're talking about a person who's giving less than 2%, a little bit less, he's satisfying his rabbinic requirement, he's giving 1 out of 60. Now, this is less than most of the people, so it's me'es from everybody, so it's less than, and therefore, that's why this is the small people, the people who are giving less, only 1/60th. Now, if you take these two letters together, mem kaf, so it spells the word moch. Moch in Hebrew means somebody who's poor. And why is this person poor? Because he's an ani b'das. He might be a very wealthy person in the bank, but in his brain, his appreciation, he's lacking. He's a poor person. Why? Because he doesn't realize everything's really from Hashem. So you don't have to be cheap in what you give. You can give more. In fact, Chazal say, Aser, Bishvil Shatis Asher, when a person does give 10% as his requirement to share with others, so it can be a merit for him to become wealthy. So therefore, that's the hint to this person. You're giving 1/60th. You're a mach. Do you appreciate? The Torah says in Mishlei, Birkas Hashem hi ta'ashir. You know how a person gets rich? It's not from working hard. You might have to work hard, but it's because Hashem decides to give a bracha. That's how a person gets rich. So when you're giving Ayin Ra, you're not realizing your potential, so you're called the poor man. You're called the mach. That's why you have those letters about you, the mem and a chaf, the poor man.